Welcome to the Quantum Momma podcast, where frequency meets faith, science meets spirit, and motherhood becomes a portal to divine expansion. Hosted by Katelyn Simmons, a Jesus-loving, frequency-healing, free birth mama on a mission to help you heal your body, align your energy, and unlock true abundance, inside and out. Each week, she dives into holistic health, nervous system wisdom, quantum biology, faith-filled manifestation, and frequency-based living, all through the lens of motherhood, entrepreneurship, authenticity, and walking boldly in your God-given purpose. Because you weren't made to just survive. You were made to thrive, vibrantly, authentically, wildly, and in total alignment. Let's recalibrate. Let's expand. Let's do life the Quantum Momma way.
Hello, welcome back to the Quantum Momma podcast. Today we are talking about seed oils. Man, these sneaky little things are ruining the health of Americans and I guess all over the world, but I feel like it's worse here in the USA. The seed oil trap. Why heart-healthy oils are totally ruining your metabolism and your life. Let's talk about it. It's super controversial online. You know, you see these influencers getting on talking about seed oils and why we should avoid them. I agree with most of them. And then we've got the other side of it where people are like, oh no, seed oils are great for you. And people are getting paid to promote like soybean oil and canola oil. And it's totally disgusting. I can't believe that that's really where we're at in this world where the people who are, so for advocating the Western medical model, which, it's there for a purpose, but there's people who are like so in it, like how on one of our recent episodes with Dr. Andrew Peasley, he talked about vaccines and how it's really like this, just a belief system at this point. That's kind of where we're at with seed oils too, and promoting this stuff. Like people are just so like just bent on, I don't know, hating people who say that you should eat our God-given foods like tallow. It's wild. It's wild. It's just insane. So welcome to the Quantum Momma podcast. I'm your host, Katelyn Simmons, and today we are diving deep into this topic that might shock you, change the way you cook, and might make you go throw out a whole bunch of stuff that's in your cupboard. Your body needs this detox. Like, we got to just detox out the seed oils. And you got to start now because it takes a long time for your body to actually, likely literally detox out seed oils. You can kick them out of your home, throw them in the trash, but it's going to take a hot minute for you to actually get them out. We are talking about industrial seed oils. So like corn oil, canola, soybean, sunflower, safflower, rice bran, grapeseed, and how these have really quietly just become one of the biggest sabotages of your metabolism, your hormones, your mitochondria, overall energy, and even weight. I mean, I think this one is really tied to weight. And here's something I cannot back up with any kind of, science, but I've heard people talking about how seed oils can ultimately turn into like a plastic-like substance inside your body. That's pretty gross. That is pretty gross. And it makes me think maybe they're tied to cellulite as well. So we're going to kind of guide you through what to use instead of seed oils. We're thinking like butter, tallow, ghee, olive oil. Shocker, like stuff that God made, and how making this one shift can actually make you feel calmer and clearer and more aligned and healthier and just overall help your whole life. So what exactly are seed oils? We're going to cover it. The case made by Dr. Cate Shanahan and modern science about why these oils are harmful, the nuance, because we've got like both sides of the spectrum where people are like, all seed oils are bad. And they think that like even raspberry seed oil is bad. But then there's like the other side of it where, we have a little more nuance, like it's just the industrial ones that are super bad for our bodies. We're going to talk about practical swaps, your action plan to detox this out of your home, start getting on the path to healthy oils and fats in your life, boost your brain health, and how this feeds into your energy and your frequency, your metabolic healing, and alignment with God's design. One of the things, if you're a believer, a Bible believing Christian, you should not be eating seed oils. God does not want us eating this industrialized, nasty crap that is just, ugh, I can't. It's gotta be this is insane. I can't believe I'm gonna say this on my podcast, but it's kind of like a demonic agenda behind seed oils. Like, who in their right mind would think, "Oh yeah, engine lubricant, let's put this into all of America's food and let all the children eat it." What? What? This is like Bill Gates type stuff. This is nasty. This is nasty. And people are not taking it seriously enough. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. I guess people are starting to take it more seriously, but we need the whole world to shift. We need the whole world to get on board with this and stop sneaking these into everything. I mean, even if you go to the store, like I shop at Whole Foods, Sprouts, farmers markets, you still have to read labels and make sure they're not coating your like raisins in sunflower oil. Like, it shouldn't be that we're putting these nasty oxidized oils on even dried fruit. That's just, it blows my mind. Okay, before we go any further, a few clarifications, because when I say seed oils, this is where the nuance comes in. I'm referring to the refined, the bleached, the deodorized industrial oils like corn oil, canola oil, rapeseed oil, soybean oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, rice bran oil, and even grapeseed oil. These are actually what Cate Shanahan, you can look her up on Instagram. She's awesome. She has a book. She calls these the hateful eight. So we're not talking about every single oil that comes from a seed or a plant. When I first learned about seed oils, they make it seem like you've got to like go through and get rid of everything. They're scared of tomato seed oil, or, like they're scared of all the types of oils in your shampoo and in your lotion and in anything. And that's not what I'm here to tell you to do at all. We need nuance. What I'm so passionate about just getting rid of and kicking to the curb is the nasty, like just processed, gross engine lubricant that people are eating. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a medical doctor. You should know this by now if you listen to my podcast. This is not medical advice. I'm just a holistic chick trying to share science and frequency and faith so that you can make better decisions and like informed decisions. Like, most of the world does not know that this is bad. We have been like brainwashed into thinking this is the healthy choice. This is the heart healthy choice. Remember? I mean, like, I hope you still don't eat Cheerios, but people talk about how Cheerios are heart healthy. Like, what? This topic has a lot of debate. I'm not an expert. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. And these mainstream organizations like the American Heart Association talk about how seed oils like reduce cardiovascular risk when they replace saturated fat. But functional and ancestral nutrition experts argue that the devil is in the processing and the oxidation and the long-term metabolic impact, which is where I believe is what's true. God doesn't make mistakes. When God made the earth, he didn't have all this bleaching and deodorizing and stuff that we needed to do to make a food edible. He gave us food that was perfect. I mean, we have incredible food. And, when you actually look at what is said to be eaten in the Bible, it makes a lot of sense. So, okay, we're talking today about a blend of Dr. Cate's model, current peer-reviewed research, and my own personal perspective. So there's your disclaimer. What are industrial seed oils and how are they made? Let's just cover that first. Factory process. Here is how these oils that you're cooking with. So if you're going to the drive-thru, getting that fried food, and okay, I'm not perfect. Let me let you in on a little secret. Thanksgiving, my family purchased a deep fryer and gallons of peanut oil to deep fry a turkey. So I did eat some deep fried turkey. Turkey's not really my thing, so whatever. But I would much rather have a smoked turkey. Smoked meat is my thing. But that's what I'm talking about. The peanut oil, the nasty crap like that. But I'm also letting you know I'm not perfect. I still will eat some things that I didn't read the label. Like we have to still live life, right? I'm talking about trying to change the bulk of what you're consuming to match what you want your life to look like. Yeah, so I'm letting you know right off the bat, don't go pointing fingers. I do still eat out. I do still, but there are things that you can do to mitigate the harm of this. So I don't want you to leave this podcast just like feeling like throwing up and thinking you can't eat anything ever again. I want you to know your body can heal, your body can restore. There's things you can do. Like if you want to go eat out at your favorite restaurant and you know that they still use seed oils, there's things you can do. We just don't want to be like deep frying a turkey every single month. We don't want to be slathering stuff in, canola oil filled ranch dressing. We want to just be making these changes so that the majority of the fats and oils we're getting are real fats and things that aren't going to clog our arteries, because we've been lied to. What actually is clogging our arteries is these nasty seed oils. So what does it look like when these seed oils are in the factory? Number one, extraction. So these seeds, like soybean, cottonseed, corn, are processed through mechanical extraction. So sometimes this is a high heat pressing and then a solvent extraction. So hexane. Can I just look up hexane really quick? What is that? I want to talk to you guys about that. What is hexane? Let me just do a quick Google search so we can read that together. Hexane is a highly flammable, colorless liquid derived from crude oil, used extensively as a solvent for extracting oils, cleaning, making glues, and in gasoline. Known for its strong odor and volatility, but it poses health risks like nerve damage with long-term exposure, causing numbness and muscle weakness. Okay, that's nasty. That's worse than I was expecting. I forgot all of that. So right there off the bat, to make these seed oils, they're using a solvent called hexane to pull out as much oil as possible. That's nasty. Number two, there's refining and bleaching. So removing impurities, removing the color, removing the taste. You're losing natural antioxidants, phospholipids, nutrients. And just real quick, when you're thinking of like a good oil, like olive oil, you can spend more money to get high amounts of antioxidants in your olive oil. Like I buy olive oil that's like $30 a bottle. This way I have olive oil that I can make my carrot salads with, that I can take a spoonful of, that I can swish in my mouth for my teeth. Like I purposefully buy high quality, high antioxidant rich olive oil because of the benefits of good oil. They're stripping this out of whatever could even be in this oil after hexane touched it. So it's just creating this oxidized nastiness before you're even cooking with the oil. And let's just touch on what oxidation is real quick too, because we have antioxidants and then we have oxidants. Antioxidants are essentially, you can think of them as anti-aging. They are what's helping your body, have health, donating electrons, really good for you. It's why people tell you to eat blueberries. Antioxidants are good. It's why we want to do things like grounding and go near a waterfall or use something like AO Rain and have like these negative ions just dump on us. It's a really good thing. And so you can get antioxidants from your food. Now, oxidation, you can visually envision this with like an apple. Like if you leave an apple out, you cut it, it's going to turn brown. Or if you leave a banana out, it's going to turn brown, right? That's oxidation, aging. If we want to slow down the aging process in our bodies, we need to do things that are, promoting donating electrons, promoting this antioxidant uh, benefit that we can get by eating things and being in nature and that type of thing. So the more oxidizing type things that we expose ourselves to or eat, this is going to cause more symptoms. This is going to cause more inflammation. This is going to speed up the aging process. Okay, the third thing that happens is deodorizing. How yummy does that sound? You know that oil sitting in your cupboard, your little vegetable oil bottle? It had to be deodorized. Ish, 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 ish. So steam and high heat, let's see, 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be 265 Celsius, to strip odor and flavor. Who knows what this nastiness tastes like if it's not deodorized and flavor deflavorized? This further exposes the oils to oxidation. Yuck. This creates lipid oxidation products, LOPs. It produces nastiness. That's the main point. So we have all this stuff to consider, all these things happening with the oils. That's like, and then they get packaged in plastic. So, it's really good if you don't right now try to be buying things in glass versus plastic, because all those microplastics just absorbing into whatever it is. But then you're cooking, and a lot of times in restaurants, reusing the oil. So in restaurants, you've got fried foods and snack foods, and this is just magnifying the oxidation and the damage. So potatoes put into, like, you could have a potato and put it into, let's say, soybean oil, and it's going to now be this oxidation bomb that you're going to eat. Versus if you fried it in tallow, it's actually good fat. And you're going to be actually more satiated eating good fat like tallow. When you have more of these good fats in your diet, it's going to help your brain. It's going to help your eyes. It's going to help you feel full and satiated throughout the day. So that's why so many people love the more ancestral side of eating, is because if you're eating more animal products and you're eating more fats and proteins, you're not craving all the carbs and you're not craving all the crap all the time. I don't believe carbs are all the way bad, but if you see where I'm going with this, there's just, God designed us in a way, in a certain way. And for some reason, humans think it's a good idea to go and do all these things. My husband was telling me the history of canola oil, and I just want to Google that real quick and just read it to you. Here we go. Heart and Soil website. They have great supplements. Great organ supplements. And I'm going to read what they have, because they haven't been, what is it called? They haven't been censored by Google. So 2 key developments propelled the widespread use of seed oils. Firstly, the invention of mechanical oil presses during the late 1700s and early 1800s revolutionized the mass production of industrial seed oils like flax, sesame, and cottonseed oil. Cottonseed oil particularly emerged as a preferred alternative to traditional machine lubricants and lamp oil like whale oil, which were becoming scarce due to overfishing and conservation efforts. Its availability and effectiveness in machinery lubrication contributed to its widespread adoption across various industries, from textiles to transportation. Okay, that's one nasty. Why would we use machine lubricants for food? And I'll link this article from Heart and Soil in the description so you guys can read it for yourself if you would like. But then scientists started using solvents derived from crude oil, such as petroleum ether and hexane, like we already mentioned, to facilitate more efficient extraction of seed oils. This innovation boosted yield and broadened the applications of seed oils in industrial settings. So from the 1900s to the 50s, came the rise of hydrogenated seed oils. In 1900, seed oils accounted for only 1% of added fat in the American diet, but by the end of the century, they constituted approximately 85%. So, canola oil specifically is connected to Canada, and I wasn't able to find the history that my husband and I were looking up, which was interesting. But we've got all this other interesting information about how this has happened. Um, eh, you got to read this. You have just got to read this article. I'm going to link it, and we're going to keep going on to rest of our the rest of our podcast. I got really distracted there. That's a great article. I didn't even know that was there. So read that when you get a chance. But the key point is all of these oils are high in polyunsaturated fatty acids, so AKA PUFAs, especially linoleic acid, and they're unstable. So PUFAs, when oxidized, generate free radicals, and they damage the cellular membranes in our mitochondria. And what are we need to focus on the mitochondria. The mitochondria are something that's so important that we're supporting, that we're, trying to just boost the health of. This is why we get so into circadian biology, why we're focused on, supporting um, electrons, grounding, sunlight, all these wonderful things we talk about. It's because we need robust, healthy mitochondria. And so by eating seed oils, it's just like self-sabotage. Let's go damage your mitochondria. So by the time that heart healthy, quote, air quotes, vegetable oils hit your skillet, a lot of the damage has already happened in the factory. So it's like already super bad, and then you start cooking with it and it oxidizes further and it's worse. Now, here is Dr. Cate Shanahan's case against seed oils, which you can check out her book. I'll try to link that in the description as well. This way you guys have lots of resources. You guys go do your own research, make informed decisions. I just want to shed light on this. Like, this is a topic people ask me all the time, like, what are things I can do for free? Like, what are things I can do to change my health at home? Like, what's something I can swap out? This is a big one. This is a really, really big one. Like, just eliminating seed oils out of your diet is going to change your life. So Dr. Cate is a family physician and a biochemist. She coined the phrase the hateful eight for the 8 main seed oils to avoid. So seed oils are ultra high PUFA and heavy industrial processed. They're oxidized fats in your body. So these oxidized fats promote oxidative stress, free radical damage, and chronic inflammation. I see so many reels from holistic people saying the root cause of everything is inflammation, which that would be great if the root cause was just inflammation. We have to look at why is there chronic inflammation in the first place. Like, you can't just all these blanket things people want to say. The root cause is this. The root cause is just parasites. The root cause is just nervous system dysregulation. The root cause is just inflammation. It's like, okay, why is your body a hospitable place for parasites in the first place? Why is your body experiencing what's causing the chronic inflammation, guys? What's causing all these things? Why is your nervous system dysregulated in the first place? Okay? We have to look at it's not so simple that we can just do one thing. I used to think it was. I used to think this is the next piece. This is the thing that's going to fix it all. No, sorry. It's actually a puzzle. We have to look at health like a puzzle. If we keep looking at health from the medical Western model, where we can just slap a Band-Aid on something and move along with our life, we're never going to actually achieve good health. We have to look at it from this giant puzzle, what is causing what, and piece it together. And that's why I love things like the AO scan, where you can actually see what's going on in your body and start to piece those things together. Okay, so back to Dr. Cate. Diets high in seed oils lead to body fat stores rich in PUFAs. So when you burn that fat, your mitochondria are generating more oxidative stress than when they're burning saturated rich fat. That really makes me think this is a huge piece to why America and the world in general, I think mostly here in America, though, that people are really suffering from weight loss problems. People are resorting to injecting themselves with stuff to lose weight. Essentially, your body's fat is becoming a ticking time bomb, being filled up with all these PUFAs. And we mentioned like cellulite. I don't know the science behind that, but it sure makes sense when you think about it. So cells being bathed in these unstable lipids are shifting towards burning more glucose. So Dr. Cate argues that this is creating insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction. How many people are like on the internet right now talking about insulin resistance and not being able to lose weight? And here's this miracle drug that's going to make you lose weight. Okay, what's going to happen when you start like losing all the fat in your brain and your eyes? What's going to happen when you start shrinking all this fat and you haven't done any kind of detox work to soak up those toxins that have been sitting in your fat cells? Because, like we talked about on another episode, your fat stores toxins. This is like a protective mechanism for your body. So, of course, if you're loading up on, if 85% of your fat intake is PUFAs, is toxic seed oils, of course you're going to blow up and store all this fat because your body's like, I don't know what to do with all this toxic crap. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see? I have really struggled with losing weight. It has been really, really a hard thing for me. Most of my life, I ate seed oils. I ate this stuff. Most of us have. It takes a long time. I have heard it quoted that it can take years to detox this out of your system. And I believe that because what do you know? It is hard to lose weight, and it's something that is becoming more and more prominent in our world. So here's a quote from Dr. Cate. If the average American is getting 80% of their fat calories from these 8 seed oils, this is making them the single largest source of calories in most people's diets. This is really huge because our mitochondria and our cell membranes and our nervous system, or if we're over here preaching nervous system dysregulation and how we need to regulate our nervous system, but we're still eating seed oils all the time. We haven't even tried to minimize them or eat healthier fats. We're just going to be on a hamster wheel. We're never going to achieve regulation if everything's just, do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so our nervous system and our mitochondria, our cell membranes, they are running on the quality of fat that we feed them. So Dr. Cate says it's not just like eat less sugar. Everyone's talking about eat less sugar, eat less food, work out more, blah, blah, blah. What if we actually just stop bathing our cells in fragile pre-oxidized fats that force them into survival mode? So then if you think about, okay, we're eating all these nasty fats that are hurting our cells and hurting our mitochondria, and then we're around all these electromagnetic fields that are harmful to our cells and our mitochondria, and then we have negative self-talk and our nervous system is on fire and like dysregulated. What chance do we have? Right? Right? Is this all clicking? Is this making sense? Let's look at what some science says about oxidized seed oils as well as we're moving forward. Oxidation during heating and reuse. So research shows that when PUFA-rich vegetable oils are heated and reused, their PUFA content drops and lipid oxidation products form. So these are volatile, toxic compounds. Reviews say thermally oxidized oils expose us to free radical generation, oxidative stress, and potential health risks. So an example would be the study in Dark Calories, How Vegetable Oils Destroy Our Health. It's a PMC article showing seed oils as a source of dark calories. And don't love it, I'm just being sarcastic in case you can't tell. I love it when you see those influencers saying a calorie is just a calorie. Okay, well, why is your hair falling out then? And why do you have hormone issues? And why do you have infertility? Like, being skinny is not a sign of health. It's not. We have to start, I think some people are catching on to that. It's also not a sign of health to be obese. I did just say that. But we have to look at there are good calories and there are bad calories. There are things that you can ingest that are going to make it a lot harder to be healthy, and there are things you can ingest that are going to make it a lot easier. So convenient food and fried foods, this is high heat, long shelf time. Our bodies are going to take in more oxidized lipids, which is damaging to the mitochondria. And another note on weight, when we talk about the mitochondria, I just mentioned this. We did a webinar talking about the AO scan, which I think I'm going to upload as a podcast episode too, because it was just so good. Um, when we think about like when a star is dying, it expands. When we have an injury, like let's say you sprain your ankle, it expands and it swells. Both of those things are a lack of energy. When our mitochondria have a lack of energy, they swell and expand. So when we see this puffiness and this swelling and this weight in the population, and I'm not excluding myself from this. I see this in myself too. I'm still on a healing journey. I'm still working through all this stuff. They have some heavy hitters hitting the world right now. We are being sprayed above us. People are getting injected everywhere. We have frequencies going like crazy. We have so much to combat these days. I don't want to be negative Nancy, but I want you to know too, like this is a journey. This is stuff that we are all learning and we're trying to piece together because there are a lot of powers that be that don't want you healthy, and that's just a fact. But the swelling and the weight problem that we're seeing, and people are resorting to these shots and these pills. I don't even know all the stuff that people are doing, but I know it's really causing some mental health issues. People are missing the fact that our mitochondria need some serious TLC, and we gotta stop eating the seed oil. So there's also connections to disease links, a high intake of linoleic acid um, from seed oils may be linked to higher oxidative stress, metabolic dysfunction. Observational studies show that diets with many fried foods and seed oils are associated with greater cardiometabolic disease risk. I saw something recently. Someone was saying how cold therapy can cause heart attacks. Okay, not to say that isn't true. But why are we seeing more people have cardiovascular issues doing something like cold exposure? Our bodies are designed to be able to be exposed to heat and cold, right? And obviously there needs to be a lot of nuance to cold therapy. I'll do a episode on that at some point, but cold therapy is something near and dear to my heart because it really was incredible for my healing journey and my hormones specifically. And I see the opposite of that online all the time. I see people saying, cold therapy is going to hurt you if you're a woman. Cold therapy is not good for you. It's different for men, there's nuance to all of this. There's truth to all of this. But people are getting so scared of cold therapy, blaming cold therapy for the cardio issues. Okay, to me, it would make sense if someone's been eating seed oils their whole life and then they hop in a freezing cold ice bath without any kind of leading up to it and prepping and, like building themselves up to it. Of course, they're going to have issues because they're filled with seed oils and EMFs. Like they haven't done any kind of this supportive work, the puzzle pieces. Like I think that cold therapy can be fit into people's routines and protocols in a very careful and balanced way, and it can be life-changing. When I talk about cold therapy, I talk about starting with just like a face plunge, little cold showers, like build up to it, but maybe not for the people who got the COVID jab. Maybe not for the people who are filled with seed oil still and haven't done any kind of eliminating of that. And I think you can heal from anything. I think if you got the COVID jab, you can heal from it. But I really think people in the health community are just too fast to write stuff off and too fast to demonize all these things when there's nuance. There's nuance, you got to research, and you have a specific body that is going to react to things differently than other people. Your history is different than anyone else's. So I just wanted to mention that, like, we got to think about the big picture. We got to think about the big picture. So in my notes right here, I say nuance. So it's just important to be getting in tune with your body. All right. Not all seed oils are equal though. So we want to talk about something like maybe like sesame oil, raspberry seed oil. Industrial seed oils are processed in this terrible way. And that's really the biggest problem, is that they're filled with hexane. I mean, that should have just been enough to be like, whoa, okay, changing out everything, throwing out everything in my cupboard that might still be filled with vegetable oils. Many trials and meta-analyses are showing that sesame oil consumption can improve your fasting blood glucose and reduce oxidative stress markers. And so something we have to look at it where it's not every single seed oil that is a problem. It's not that God made oils from seeds to be evil. The problem is when we take these fragile seeds and we blast them with solvents and heat and then strip away the antioxidants and then fry them over and over. But it's just a completely different thing. It's not an oil anymore. It's not from nature anymore. This is some like zombie, nasty, gross Frankenstein type thing that we're eating as food and drizzling on our salad. Oh, I crack myself up. Frankenstein oils. So I want to remind you, like, when you're thinking of the foods that you're eating and you're thinking of labels, I've seen people go so far as to throw out all their skincare that is holistically made and has, like, I don't know, whatever the little seed oils in there are that people use for their skin, and they're scared of all of it. I don't want to instill fear into you. There's some important questions to just ask really simply. What's the extraction method? Is it refined? What's the PUFA content? And how many heat cycles has this oil seen? Like, is it fried food that you're eating? Or is this, some little tomato seed oil in your shampoo? Not as big of a deal. Not a big deal at all. Probably okay. Okay, so here's why animal fats, butter, ghee, tallow are really good for you and a lot better. So this is the solution side of it. One, go through your cupboards, read labels, and stop buying the protein bars and the powders, and even look at your dried fruit. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to find. I love raisins. My daughter loves raisins. We like dried fruit. It's not like our staple food, but it's like something we like to have. Like, if we're going to eat something sweet, dried fruit is nice. They're covered in seed oils. Why? It doesn't make sense. So it's really hard to find raisins that are just raisins. So you got to go through things, get rid of the old, shift into a new thing where you're just reading labels. It's just a part of life now. People get annoyed. They're like, it's so hard to read labels. Like, okay, if you stick to mostly the outside of the grocery store, I know you've heard that a million times. You get the fresh fruits, you try to buy organic when you can. Wash your fruits and veggies, get the pesticides off. Try to shop local if you can. Try to shop at a farmer's market. Get to know your farmers, yada, yada, yada. That's a big piece of it. But now shifting to eating animal fats is going to serve you better. So animal fats like butter, ghee, and tallow and lard, yes, I said lard, are higher in saturated and monosaturated fats. So these are more stable under heat. They're less prone to oxidation, and they don't have that PUFA side of it. They are fat. They support the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These vitamins support hormones, brain function, and cell membranes. So I have something important to mention with that as I'm thinking of, something I love to incorporate into our diets is raw dairy. Raw dairy is a powerhouse for vitamins and nutrients. It has the vitamins like A. And so if you have fat-soluble vitamins you're trying to get and minerals and stuff from something like milk, but then you're stripping the milk of all this stuff because you're processing it, kind of like the seed oils, and you've got this nasty watered down 2% milk, but you want fat-soluble vitamins from it. what? What? I'm like, mimicking my daughter right now. She likes to do this cute little thing where she smiles really big, and, like, if she's touching something she's not supposed to touch or, like, grabbing something, she'll, like, try to distract you and smile and shake her head and go, "What? What?" And then, like, grab whatever she's it's so cute. She does it to my husband all the time, but what? I don't get it. I don't get it how we can be so brain dead. Like, uh, I mean, okay, gotta have grace, gotta have grace. It's because we've been brainwashed. Sorry, not brain dead. We're just brainwashed to believe that it's better to have less fat. Okay, you could nuance again. You could go on the side of things where you're just like eating fat all day and you don't understand it. And there's people out there, there's gurus who talk about how to do things with fasting and eating more fat and measuring stuff. I haven't gotten into that. That's just not where I'm at right now. I can't do that right now. Maybe that'll be something I talk about in the future, fasting and awesome stuff. My friend Christina is super into it and she is having incredible results. She's doing amazing stuff with quantum and circadian and fasting. I really want to have her on the podcast. Maybe that'll be something we talk about. But my point is, fat is good. Don't go overboard because you can gain weight from just eating fat if you're also eating a ton of carbs anyways, but we got to switch it out. We don't want to just be avoiding fat and then eating vegetable oils. We want to switch over to like butter, ghee, tallow and still have nuance. Still have nuance. Still be mindful of how we're eating and eating for our bodies. They saturated fats are supporting our hormones, our brain, and our cell membranes. And what I have heard, I can't find studies to share with you on this, but everything I've learned over the years of deep diving on seed oils is that they're actually going to be clearing out our arteries and helping clear out that buildup of PUFAs. And it's going to be a way to help detox them. How incredible is that? That God made fat to help our arteries. And then the world wants to come and say the opposite. It's just almost comical when you start leaning into this stuff and you're like, oh, okay, so vaccines have never really been tested for safety, yet we're injecting them into our newborns. And then, animal fats that were demonized are actually really, really good for us. It's like, it makes you start to think. If you haven't woken up yet and you stumbled upon this podcast, I'm sorry to hit you with so many truth bombs, but you got to start thinking about this stuff. It's going to make everything else make sense. So focus on the minimally processed, grass-fed, pasture-raised things if you can, but the main shift is really to just get away from the processed garbage. Just stop buying it. I can't believe I still see people at the grocery store grabbing this stuff and putting it in their carts to cook with. I mean, and I do remember as a kid, we didn't know better. I remember when we'd bake cookies, it's like we got the vegetable oil out and, you just think, oh, it's from vegetables. Like you don't think anything's wrong with it. You don't. And I get it. I mean, but once you know better, you do better. And if you don't, then it's all on you. So start making the changes. If your great grandma would recognize it, well, we might have to start getting into the great great grandma because I remember my great grandma. I'm pretty sure she still used vegetable oil. I think we got to get past that a little. If your great 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 grandma recognizes it, like real butter, ghee, and lard from an animal, your mitochondria are likely going to know what to do with that a lot better than these mystery vegetable oil plastic junk from a factory. Yuck. It just really is kind of nauseating thinking about this, like that we're eating this. Is it nauseating to anyone else? Is it just kind of like, oh, yeah. And just, I mean, and like whole events are like planned around this stuff. Like you go to the fair to eat fried food, like fried butter. I remember seeing that. And now thinking about it, like, what? You're going to fry this perfect, beautiful food that came from a cow? Okay, so let's kind of link this back to frequency. Stable fats equals stable cell membranes. This is really good. Less oxidative firefight, more capacity for energy, integrity, and less noise in your system. Good stuff. So let's make some real actionable changes. This is your roadmap. Pantry audit. Go to your pantry. If you're listening to this and you can walk around, go to your pantry, pull out your ingredient labels. Look for soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, rice bran oil, and grapeseed oil. The common culprits that you're going to find are salad dressings, mayonnaise, snack bars, granola, crackers, coffee creamers, raisins, dried fruit, plant-based meats. I hope you're not buying those. Oh my gosh, like, come on, guys. We know better than that. Don't buy the plant-based meats. That's so nasty. Anyways, choose a category each week to swap out. Swap out for olive oil based, avocado oil based, or a homemade version like olive oil, egg yolk, lemon vinegar for like mayonnaise or something, or your salad dressings. And there's so many more options now than there were like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. People are catching on. There are restaurants who are getting certified by Seed Oil Scout. That is actually an app that you can download. I believe it's an app. I think I have it. I know the places where I live that are seed oil safe. Praise the Lord. Puesto just got seed oil safe certified. They've got the little stamp. I took a picture of it on their menu. You can have chips and salsa at Puesto and tacos without worrying about seed oils. Oh, I might cry. I'm so happy. It's the best restaurant. In my opinion, it's my husband and I's one of our favorites. Our whole family, we love going there. It's so good. And now we can go there guilt-free because there's no seed oils. You can order anything on the menu and no seed oils. Like, it's just so nice. It's so nice to have this happening. And so if you're in a place where you're not seeing this happen, start going to your restaurants and requesting it, asking them, showing them that they'll get more business if they start using like a Seed Oil Scout little stamp on there, because people will literally find them online and want to go there. Another one of my favorites here in San Diego, if you ever go to the Encinitas area, it's beautiful there. Go to Good On Ya. Yeah, that is another great one. You can get smash burgers, you can get little burritos, you can get really great food, tallow fries without seed oils. And you don't have to be scouting the menu. So like now I have my favorite places I love to go to if I'm going to eat out, but mostly I cook at home. We love to cook smoked meat and stuff here at home, but anyways, start switching stuff out and pay attention to when you're eating out. But don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like you're a failure when you eat some or, haven't swapped everything out yet. It's okay. We got to do things. It's the consistency and consistent choices that you continue to make that are going to make the biggest difference. So start swapping out what you're cooking with. For high heat cooking, like searing and roasting, you're going to want to use tallow and ghee and butter. Butter is more for moderate heat, and then coconut oil and avocado oil. For low heat and finishing and dressings, you want to use extra virgin olive oil, sesame oil, or butter on veggies. And then extra virgin olive oil is more heat stable than previously thought due to its antioxidants and monounsaturated profile. Just so you know. And I think you can really look at, like, if you're looking at the high quality olive oils, they'll tell you on the bottle or on their website about, what to use for high heat, what to use like for salads and that type of thing as well. So a great tip to be as non-toxic as you possibly can, use cast iron or stainless steel for your pans, and those are going to be non-toxic, so you don't have aluminum and toxins and PFA, all these other things leaching into your food as well, and cook at lower temps as much as you can to preserve that fat integrity. We already kind of talked about eating out, but when, to kind of have a safer way of eating out. If you've ever felt really crummy after eating out, it most likely wasn't the gluten, wasn't the, whatever you think it was. It was probably the seed oils and the pesticides. Because restaurants are not cleaning their produce to get pesticides and herbicides off, and those things are oil-based, so they're tough to get off. You gotta use some kind of veggie cleaner or, like, a high alkaline water, like, Kangen machines have 11.5, so you can soak your veggies in that and you see the oily gunk come off. But when you're eating out, choose grilled or roasted, never deep fried if you can. Ask what oil you cook in, what oil they cook in, and then you can ask if they will cook with butter or olive oil or a different oil for certain dishes, and sometimes places are accommodating. You can skip the bottomless fries or large portions that are fried in seed oils. Unless you find someplace awesome that has tallow fries, that's amazing. And you don't have to be perfect. So just cutting your fried seed oils and seed oil meals in half is going to reduce that exposure significantly. And you're probably going to feel better. Things I've noticed is you can feel really sluggish and gross and just your energy's just drained when you eat a lot of seed oils. And then just, mindset, thinking about it. How do you feel after cooking at home with butter and tallow versus eating takeout? What's your energy level? How's your brain clarity, your mood, your digestion? All of this is going to affect things, and people's digestion really improves when they start incorporating more butter and tallow and these fats into their diet. It's very helpful. And then see how your energy feels too. Just your frequency. Like, where are you resonating at after you eat? So, this isn't just about your fat quality, it's about how your body is running its electrical systems too. This is energy and it's feeling of stability in your body. It's tying directly into your metabolism, your nervous system regulation, and your identity. When you're, just want to mention this, when you're stepping into your identity as a daughter of the king, a son or a daughter of the king, when you're in this relationship with your father in heaven and you're taking it seriously that you want to honor your temple and glorify God in everything you do, that includes choosing how you eat. That includes things like this. So it's very important. And then oxidized seed oils equals oxidized stress, which equals mitochondrial distress, which equals reduced energy production, which equals fatigue and brain fog, hormone imbalance, nervous system dysregulation, and the list goes on. Your cellular membranes and your mitochondria are literally little electrical machines, and they prefer stable fats so that they can maintain their membrane integrity, their cell signaling, and their energy production. So if you think this is just like, this isn't that important or it doesn't relate to the quantum side of things, it absolutely does relate to the quantum side of things, because just like we need water in our body for, to be frequency, for frequency to really work, like we need it for that connection. It's kind of similar with fat. Like we do need the good fats, like we talked about, to helping our nervous system. If our nervous system is damaged and struggling and not filled with the if the vitamins aren't even getting into our body because we don't have fats to help transport them, like it's just so much deeper than it seems. And I don't know that people really are realizing how detrimental seed oils are to our health. When your body is constantly under oxidative fire, your nervous system is in that alert mode. It's kind of like zingy. That means that the lower baseline frequency is a higher noise and less clarity and way more susceptible to stress. So, this big chunk of your diet, swapping out the oils, is going to reduce the noise and raise your baseline. Scripture says that all things were made by him and for him. So if we believe that God designed our bodies with intention, then feeding them industrially altered fats is misalignment with design. So making choices that honor the body is a part of stewardship. Man, so good, so good. So something you can do also, I want to mention, I don't have this in my notes, is you can take vitamin E to help you detox and protect from PUFAs. So if you know you're going to go out and eat something really nasty, take some vitamin E. Nuance, look into it. This is not medical advice. I'm not your doctor. Make sure you're good with vitamin E. Who knows what could be said about vitamin E, but vitamin E is a vitamin and can help protect you from the oxidative damage of PUFAs. It also, from my experience, when you're detoxing out PUFAs and you're taking vitamin E, which is helping you detox them out, you can feel really sleepy and tired and fatigued. So just leave that there so you know. So let's address just a couple common objections before we wrap it up. But seed oils lower LDL cholesterol. Okay, but when you're replacing saturated fat in those studies, LDL is only one marker. It doesn't capture the oxidative damage, the mitochondrial stress, or the long-term cellular disruption. So again, make your own choices, but let's also, why don't you look at some people, start looking at people who eat these two different types of diet. How do they look? My observation has been a lot of the people who eat these good, high quality fats usually have long, silky, shiny hair. They're not struggling from hormone issues. They're fitter and more glowy. Their skin, hair, body looks better. It's an observation. It's something there, okay? When you look at the people on there promoting the other way of eating, they might be really skinny, but they also, a lot of times, are struggling with infertility, losing their hair, do not have long, shiny, healthy hair, and skin issues and all the other stuff. So I'm not actually thinking of anyone specific in particular. I don't want to call anyone out, but if you just kind of just observe, I mean, you just like with energy, you can feel someone's difference in their energy. Like you can tell when someone's really aggravated and angry and frustrated and they're just like projecting that at you. You can feel when someone's really passionate and excited. Like I am right now. I'm so excited and passionate about this, to talk about this, and it's like fun to talk about because it's important, and I know it's going to change people's lives if they take this seriously. You can feel when someone's really calm and relaxed and zen, and it's, it's magnetic. You can also use your eyes and see when people are really practicing what they preach. A lot of times they're going to, it takes time, but most likely you're going to see clues of what they're doing and how it's impacting them. When you see someone with long, luscious, beautiful hair, to me, I want to go ask them, what are you doing? I want to know. And it's not usually calorie restricting and injecting themselves with stuff and eating garbage and seed oils. It's usually they're eating high quality foods and taking care of themselves and doing yada, yada, yada. Does that make sense? Next question. Isn't all PUFA bad? Kind of covered this already. Not necessarily. So whole seeds, eating nuts and flax and fish oils, like there's still value. You just want to make sure you're getting fish oil from a high quality company that is making sure it's not oxidizing and not getting rancid. Like you just want to be up leveling where you're getting this stuff. You want to make sure you're not buying there's I can't remember her name. There's a girl on Instagram. She's really awesome. She talks about like food and animals and stuff, and she grows, I think, pecans or walnuts or something, some kind of nuts. And she talks about how when you get them the right way, they're not oxidizing and they're good for you and they taste better. and how you can be getting a lot of health issues from buying nuts in a certain way. So you just gotta have to kind of start researching like the things that you want to eat and the things that you're buying. How can I eat this in a way that's closest to how God designed, where it hasn't been tampered with to have a long, stable shelf life? Because it's better that you have a long, stable shelf life your whole life versus the food that you're eating. And the less long of a stable shelf life that your food has, the better it's going to be for you. So, next question. If animal fats were so good, why did the health guidelines vilify them? I think we covered this. Great question. Politics, industrial change, food supply, like, you know, the stupid fake food pyramid that is upside down. Uh, what we need to focus on is not what the government is telling us. We need to be focusing on the evidence that we can see. We have critical thinking skills. We can look at context clues. We can look at whole food quality, and we can see who are the healthiest people on the planet right now, and let's see what they're doing. You know, that's what I like to look at. Who's actually thriving? Yeah, that's a good way to look at things. Bill Gates does not look like he's thriving, in my opinion. So, what about budget and availability? Great point. I'll give you some practical tips. So, butter and tallow can, yeah, they can be a little more pricey. So, uh, one of the things you can do if you buy meat that has fat on it, you can actually make your own tallow. You can render that down. Look it up online. You'll find steps. That's a great way to maximize what you're buying and save some money. But if you must use other oils, and butter and tallow are just out of the question, there's lard in a healthy way. I hear my baby, so I gotta go. But choose minimally processed, avoid overheating, and focus on whole food eating as much as you can. I'm going to skip the last couple questions and just give you a recap. Industrial seed oils are highly processed, fragile, and easily oxidized, especially when heated. Dr. Cate Shanahan is an amazing resource. You should follow her on Instagram and find her book. And emerging science suggests that there are major drivers of oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and metabolic disease from seed oils. Not all seed oils are bad, but the ones that we use in processed foods and fries are often the worst. So shifting to stable fats like butter, ghee, and tallow and olive oil is a move towards alignment, energy, and higher frequency, and just overall better health. You don't need to be perfect. Start with one swap, one audit, one question. What am I cooking with and what am I consuming? Your action step is to do a pantry audit. Snapshot one item that you swapped and tag me on Instagram or your favorite platform. I probably will only see it if it's on Instagram, to be honest. And tag me and then do a hashtag Quantum Momma Fat Shift. And I'll repost you if you tag me. Also, if you haven't yet, make sure that you sign up for all my freebies down in the description. I have some awesome ones for you. I also have a brand new ebook called The Abundant Health Blueprint. It's only $11, and it's going to help you shift into biblical alignment with health. If you've ever struggled thinking that health was not for you because maybe somewhere along the lines, religion told you that God doesn't actually heal everybody, or health isn't actually for everyone, I disagree. And so I put that into an ebook. It also has practical steps that you can take, root cause circadian quantum approach, where you can start changing the steps in your life to promote health, along with actually speaking declarations and prayers and verses over yourself in your life. So grab that now while it's still only $11 down in the description below. And thank you for being here. I'm so excited that you are here on this podcast, that we've made it. I don't know what episode number this is. I kind of record these and just post them as I feel like it. There's never like an order. I should probably get a little more organized. But thank you for choosing to steward your body, steward your temple, and your frequency with me. Until next time, stay aligned, stay energetic, and keep your frequency high. Again, my name is Katelyn Simmons, signing off from the Quantum Momma podcast.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Quantum Momma podcast. If today's conversation expanded your mind, nourished your soul, or lit a fire in your spirit, share it with a friend. Tag Katelyn on Instagram at Katelyn Simmons Official and at the Quantum Momma, and leave a quick review. Don't forget to check the show notes for this episode's featured products, her favorite frequency healing tools, and a free gift. Created to help you go deeper. You were made to thrive, Mama, in wholeness, wealth, and wild alignment. Until next time, keep rising, keep resonating, and keep living the Quantum Momma way.